Okay, my friend, let's go through the products that you have to have, the must-haves in your makeup kit. Okay, so I know a lot of people tell you when you go to a makeup store, you need this, and then at the end of the day, you end up with like 50 different products and you still don't know what to do with any of those. Maybe the mascara and the lipstick, that's about it, and the BB cream. Most of you only have that, and that is fine. But you only need 9 things in your makeup kit, my friend. That is the only products that you have to have, the must-haves. So I'm going to go through the 9 must-have products that will really help you and that you will need throughout this video to do your makeup correctly. So the most important product that you're going to need in your makeup kit. This is the first product, the most important product. You can skimp on all the rest, but this has to be good quality and everything about it has to be right for you to do your makeup correctly and for you to struggle less with the application of your makeup. Okay, so the most important part of your entire makeup kit is your makeup brushes. Oh my word. So few people actually understand why brushes is so important. So I give them the following example and then it sticks in their brain and they can't forget it and they understand why this is so important. Okay, so makeup brushes. Why is makeup brushes so important? Let me take you back to the 1600s. Where they asked Michelangelo, to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. They said, listen here, dude, you are the best artist in the world. We understand this. We have built this brand new chapel. It is beautiful. The ceiling is made from marble. It's the best ceiling that you will ever work with. Or paint on, let's say it like that, paint on. We need you to paint a mural of the Renaissance period, okay? We need detail, copious amounts of detail, okay? We got you the top of the range paint, limited edition. This is gonna last forever and ever. People will speak about your work and your creation for millions of years to come. But we couldn't find you the brushes that you required, so we got you like 4 painting rollers to start off with. So get cracking. Okay, you start so long. Okay, so Michael is going to take his little sandwich box and sit in the corner and eat his little lunch until they bring him the right brushes. Because how can he paint detail like that with the wrong brushes, with the wrong tools? You need the right things. I mean, your face is no bigger than an A5 page. And think for yourself, if you have to help a little girl or little boy color in a little picture that's on an A5 page, you're not going to use like the thickest crayons in the packet. You're going to actually sharpen the pencils so that you can draw inside the lines. And the same applies to your face. The detail on your face is actually so small. Eyes, very small. Lips, small. Nose, small. Cheeks, small. Everything is small. It's tiny. It's like really fine detail. And if you have the wrong brushes, it's going to make it impossible for you to apply your makeup correctly. Most women have, they bought these cheap brushes where you get like 50 brushes for 200 Rand and it's like a freaking the size of a broom. Then I'm like, okay, so what are you planning to do with it? Like how do you see this working? And then they're like, I don't know. It's like the lady said that this will work. And yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. So what do I mean when I say you're maybe working with the wrong brushes? What determines the quality of the brushes is obviously the quality of the hair. So they used to make all makeup brushes, manufacture them from animal hair. The reason for that is that animal hair has a certain texture to it that assists in the actual, how can I explain it to you? When you take your brush and you sweep it over your, let's say, eyeshadow, animal hair has a certain texture that picks up that pigment and holds it inside of the brush, okay? So that when you place it on your skin, the place where you're putting that product, it will kind of stick to that spot and it won't fall out as much. I don't know if you guys have realized that if you're working with your brushes, that once you touch your face with the product on the brush, you get so much fallout. There's like powder that falls on top of, falls out on top of your face. And then it's very frustrating because now maybe you've already done your foundation and concealer and powder and your whole face looks beautiful, and now you start with your eyeshadow and then the product drops and it falls on top of your face and then it kind of smears all over. So this is what happens when you have brushes that's made from a very cheap synthetic plastic hair. It does not hold the pigment. The pigment kind of just slides off. So this is why they always made brushes from animal hair. But now with modern times and everyone being a lot more, animal cruelty free and conscious about our environment, they've started to develop a synthetic hair that takes on the elements of animal hair. So my brushes is all animal cruelty free. The only thing that's not animal cruelty free is the leather folder that it comes in. But the only reason I wanted to create the leather folder with the brushes is I wanted to give you something that will protect your brushes for many, many years. And leather is one of the things that really lasts a long time, as you guys would know. So back to the brushes. It's made from synthetic hair, but the hair is processed so that it takes on the texture of animal hair, but it's not animal hair. So that's the one thing that's very important, is the texture of the bristles and how it picks up the product. The second thing that's very important is that the bristles and the hair must be soft. When you touch your face, it shouldn't hurt your face. It shouldn't like scratch your face or, make your face feel all irritated when you work with it. Also, with the cheaper synthetic plastic hair brushes, they are so hard that it's almost impossible to blend eyeshadow or contouring or any powders with it, because the bristles is too hard. It's not flexible, it's not soft, it doesn't glide with your skin. So if you take, for instance, the skin on your hand, look how soft that skin is, né? So the skin on your eyes is like 100 times softer and looser than the skin on your hand. And if you have a brush that's too firm, it's gonna do that instead of glide over your skin. I hope that makes sense. It really assists in the blending process. So even my hardest brush or firmest brush in my range is still softer than most people's, all of their brushes. So that's the second thing that's very important. The third thing that's super important about the right brushes is the size, and fourthly, the shape. The size and the shape. So just as I explained to you, your face is smaller than an A5 page. If your brushes is too big, it's just gonna be impossible for you to shape your face correctly in the way that you should shape it when you're wearing or applying makeup. Okay, so your features is really small actually. No matter what you might think, it is really small. So you need brushes that can actually go into the spaces and distribute the product in the places that it needs to go. Otherwise, it's just going to go all over the show and it's going to look like you got makeup for free, and it's going to look, it's like, wet wipe, it's done. No. Okay, so the size and then also the shape. Everything, all the bones in your face, all the creases has very round, like say for instance your crease here, there where your brow bone is, no? There, if you put your finger in there, you will feel it's like it's round when you put your finger in there. It's like a roundish space, if that makes sense. So when you have a brush that is, you know, shaped straight, then it's a lot more difficult for the untrained hand to distribute the product where it needs to go. It hinders you. It's going to make it more difficult. So I created these brushes especially for you at home who struggles and just wants to look nice every day. I created them for you so that it's easy to use, and I'm going to show you in the steps. You're really going to find it super easy to do. Okay, so that is why having the right brushes is so important. But you can use the brushes that you have. Just make sure to, you know, feel the quality and make sure that it's not too hard, and then that it's the right size. So that's the things to look out for when judging the quality of the brushes. So the brush range that I've launched, the cool thing about it is not only is it the right size and shape and quality and everything, the name of the brush is also the function of the brush. So you cannot forget what this is used for, which is really helpful because lots of ladies forget, especially in the beginning time. You know, you don't know, it's overwhelming and so many things. So you cannot forget. So the first brush in my range is the foundation powder brush. It has two functions. This brush you use to apply liquid foundation, not cream-based foundation, liquid foundation, as well as your powder. I will show you in the videos to come. This is your first brush. The second brush is your contouring and blush brush. This one you use for contouring and blush. Third one, your powder dome brush. This one you'll use to do your matte highlighting with, and also just dusting away any fallout should there be any. Fourth brush is your highlighting brush. So this one has a very cool function. This one is specifically designed to help you with the inner corner highlighting that you see there. Super easy to use, oh my word. You're really gonna like be surprised how easy it is to create that highlighting effect there. Something that I know a lot of women struggle with. But you also use this to highlight your nose and your chin also, which will be explained just now. Then you have 4 eyeshadow brushes. You have your blending brush, for the obvious reason, to blend. Then you have your shadow shader brush. You'll see these two look a lot similar, but they're different. The highlighting brush is a softer brush than the shadow shader brush. It's a denser, thicker brush. So whenever you're blending, you want a softer brush in order to do the blending. And then when you're applying the darker colors, you need a little bit more control over where the darker color goes on your eye. So when you have a firmer brush, it helps control that. So just to know that they look a lot the same, but they have 2 different functions. Then the skinnier one of the three is your shadow crease brush. So the shadow crease brush, you use it in your crease. So it is especially used and super helpful for hooded eyes and you know, ladies who struggle with the top part of their eyelid maybe drooping down a bit. That I also explained to you when applying the darker colors, especially for hooded eyes. But also if you want to create that perfect crease line over there without the difficult techniques they show you on Instagram and Facebook, how to do a cut crease, it's a lot easier with this brush, and I'll show you exactly where to place it. And then your small little brush, this one, the smallest one, is designed specifically so the width, like this part of the brush, is exactly the width of the eyeshadow that should go underneath your eye here and then underneath your brow. So that's why this one is specifically designed like this. It's the small shader brush, but it's also kind of the mini-me brush of those ones. But it's a very important brush. And then you have super important brush. It's your liner brow brush. So it's shaped at an angle. You use it to shape your eyebrows. We use eyeshadow to shape our eyebrows, and then also to make and create this beautiful wing eyeliner using gel eyeliner to do that. So that's what you use this little brush for. And then the last brush is your concealer brush. So your concealer brush you use to touch up wherever you need to place a little bit more concealer. Also to use underneath your brows if you just want to make your brow line perfect. You use your concealer with your concealer brush and then you do that. So that is the 10 brushes in my range. All must-haves. And you can find them on Take-A-Lot as well as our online store. And they're also packaged in this beautiful leather folder that I've created, and it is specifically designed to keep your brushes safe. So when you receive your order, you'll find it in this leather folder that opens like that. This little flap protects your bristles, and then also the folder is lined with a waterproof canvas lining. So you can clean this lining with a little bit of soap, handy and a little lukewarm water, and it will take off all the products off of this lining. And this will age beautifully, and your brushes should last anywhere between 10 and 20 years. It has to. Along with the brushes, you're gonna need two other tools. A wedge sponge like this. You can get good quality wedge sponges from Dischem, but make sure it is the Cala brand, C-A-L-A, Cala brand. The sponge must be firm. If it's not firm, it just makes the process a little more difficult to apply your cream-based foundation with. So you're going to use a wedge sponge to apply your cream-based foundation with, and make sure that the sponge is firm. It shouldn't be flimsy, it must be firm. And then the other one, last but not least, is your little beauty blender. So a beauty blender is very, very, very important to apply your liquid concealer with. It's also amazing just to buff out any of the lines that gets left behind after you've applied your foundation with your foundation powder brush. It sometimes makes a bit of lines, but it's not a problem. I'll show you in the videos how to buff them out, but a beauty blender is super important in your kit to have.